Plotting out the sandbox. Here's one way to do it. Grognard back, and I want to talk about sandbox role-playing. I like sandbox role-playing because it gives the characters the most, choices and control over where they're going to go. Now, you may have things planned out, but that doesn't mean they're going to go there. I like to give them as many choices as possible within my, as much as I can do anyway. And as far as doing a plot, involved in a plot at the time, say it's a pure sandbox, they're just going to go hither and yon, and they really haven't connected with something. This is my philosophy about railroading and not railroading. First of all, I don't like railroading, period. But saying that, I'm kind of, how shall I say it? I have a predicalish, I have a tendency to, once you're in the plot, you're in the plot. Now, what I mean by that is you guys can go anywhere and do anything you want, but if there's an adventure going on and you're in it and you buy into it, you bought into it. You're there. I'm not going to railroad you. I'm not going to tell you how to do the thing, but there it is. And as far as some character, some player goes, oh, I want my character to go off here. If it has anything to do with the plot, sure, we'll deal with it a little. But they just want to go off and get drunk. They can go off and get drunk. That doesn't mean I'm going to follow your story. I'm going to follow the majority's story. One of the reasons they always say don't split up the party is because they think it kind of makes a DM's job that much harder. If you have to pay attention to these 3 people over here doing this and these 2 people over here doing this and things. There are certain games that are engineered to do that, but I'm just thinking about the party itself. So, that being said, here's what I use. I use a compass rose. Now, a compass rose is, if you've ever seen a map, you've seen the north, south, east, and west. And they call it a compass rose. Here's a simple one. And there's the party in the middle. Now, this is where the party starts, right here in the middle. They have to start somewhere, even if it's the first adventure or the 5th. They're starting from one point, and you have the compass directions. So what I do is I only worry about the 4 main directions, which is north, south, east, and west. And just for simplicity's sake, I put some TSR modules in there because saying you're running a modular-based campaign, do that. Those could be your own, those could be your own adventures or something else you got somewhere else or what have you. I just happen to. So look in the north, looks like we got some giant trouble up there against the giants. Over here we've got this haunted house, so-called haunted house in Salt Marsh. To the east, we have the Lost City. And down here at the bottom, on the south, there's some lizard man action problems. So that's what you got. So I plan out adventures for north, south, east, and west. That doesn't mean you can't change them. You can do whatever you want. You're the GM. So I have the north, south, east, and west planned out as so. Okay, what happens if they want to go northwest or southeast? Well, this is what happens. These are some of the things you have in your hip pocket, your back pocket, that you can pull out. And this is where the ad-libbing, the improvising comes in. All you have to do is think about whichever direction they pick to go in and get involved in that. You can try and adapt. For instance, say they wanted to go to the northwest. You can have stuff from the other plots spill over as a side trek. Say there's trouble in this one town near there where the giants have stomped through, and now they're having problem with like the other inhabitants of a nearby forest, say orcs and gremlins, and goblins start coming out and hassling them. You can help with that, and that's sort of tangentially connected with the plot in the north. Say they go in the northeast. Plot clue. There's a clue to one of these plots. Say one of the cultists from the Lost City actually went outside and got lost and starts proselytizing to the area, and it's not a really good cult and nobody likes it, and you have to like put him down because he's starting to get followers of the questionable variety. Over here in the southwest, linked PCs. What's saying one of the guys from Salt Marsh isn't a say there's a lizard man or two working for these smugglers, and they're linked to the tribes down here in the south. And, you know, you can put them down in Salt Marsh and have this guy, you know, if they wander out to the southwest, after they went to the west, the southwest, he's wandering around, or they're causing trouble, and you got to put it down. And over here in southeast, I just let that up to you because, you know, people are smart. You're a smart game master. You can figure out how, if you want to connect these two or do something totally different. So that's how I use a compass rose, because you can do that with every session if you want, if they're not involved in a plot already, because they got to start from somewhere, and they can only go in 4 to 8 different directions. So just plan out the 4, and then all you have to do is either start thinking about what would happen if they went off the map, what would happen if they went over in this area or that area, or, you know, if you can connect the two, that'd be even better. You'd have a really big old campaign going. So that's my suggestion on how to do a sandbox. If you guys got any, you know, tips, tricks, or whatever, you can always send them to me at oldmangrognard@gmail.com. And so that's my suggestion about the sandbox. So I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.